Hey, what's up? It's Keith here at Sports Vibes TV, and I know I haven't been dropping videos as frequently as I used to. Unfortunately, when I made the switch, I had to start using my computer as the main hub to do all my recording, etc. And apparently, I have a 10-year-old computer, and it's not built to handle the workload that I want to, have it handle. So I'm gonna have to upgrade computers right now. I'm, putting money to the side, and hopefully by the end of this year, I can get the computer and then I can start giving you guys some live streams. I can start live streaming during the draft. I can live stream, during games before and after. So that's really when I want to where I want to start heading with the channel. So until then, I thank you guys for sticking with me and supporting the channel and watching the videos. So, now that I got my little rambling off, let's get into today's topic, which is a topic that I've actually had to record 5 times because it didn't work on the computer. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing recent comments made by ESPN's Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst was saying that the Lakers offering Danny Green, right, Kyle Kuzma, and a late first was too much for Victor Oladipo. So as a Knicks fan, I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, Danny Green wasn't great in the playoffs, right? Kyle Kuzma is highly inconsistent. Yes, he might have a high ceiling, so some may think he has a high ceiling, but at no point has he been able to reach that potential consistently, or at least show that potential consistency. And then the Lakers, they won the championship, so they have a very late first round pick. So if Brian Windhorst is saying that's too much for Victor Oladipo, then I think the Knicks should enter that conversation. Now, I know I posted a video previously, which I'll link up above, and I know I was against a Victor Oladipo trade due to the fact that he was fresh off of an injury. But if, that was when it was reported that the Pacers were looking for 2 first-round picks. If you're telling me Brian Windhorst, who's an insider in the league, is saying that now, you know, Kuzma, Danny Green, and a first is too much, then yes, the Knicks should be picking up that phone, because I think the Knicks, if that was too much, then the Knicks could come up with an offer for Julius Randle, right? And if they need to, the late first round pick that we have, that's the 27th pick. If we were to put those two together and use that to acquire Victor Oladipo, I wouldn't complain. As you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of Julius Randle. And, if we have to move him to bring in a player that could potentially be that 1B next to, whether RJ develops into that superstar, or if we go out and acquire a superstar, I think Victor Oladipo would be the perfect Robin, if he were to come back, 100% from, the injury he sustained last year. So, Victor Oladipo as a player is very similar to me to Donovan Mitchell. And who did we bring in from Utah that was very instrumental in working with Donovan Mitchell? Johnny Bryant. And if we can have Johnny Bryant work with Victor Oladipo in the same manner, in the same fashion that he worked with Donovan Mitchell, I think we could be cooking with gas. You have Victor Oladipo running the pick and roll with Mitch Robinson, and Victor Oladipo is very proficient both as a driver, as a scorer off the pick and roll, and also as a passer. So if he's running pick and roll with Mitch, and you got Mitch rolling to the basket, and you still have to be stuck on Victor Oladipo because he has the ability to hit that the outside jumper, then that's going to be very difficult for teams to try to guard, because they're not going to switch it. So, so in order for them to try to lock us up, I think having Oladipo and Mitch run that pick and roll is a very good option. Not only that, you know, Victor Oladipo has the ability to initiate the offense. He has the ability to be the primary ball handler. Am I saying we should have him as the primary ball handler? Should he be our point guard? No, I'm not saying that. I think it'd be better if we put him on the wing, make him the 2 guard, have RJ move over to the 3, and this would still allow us to have enough cap space to go out and bring in a free agent point guard, whether that be a Fred VanVleet or another player of that caliber. So to me, I don't necessarily, the only con I see when it comes to a Victor Oladipo trade is the fact that he had that major injury, that lower body injury. And to that, I would say if Victor Oladipo went out for the Pacers next year and he balled out, I'm pretty sure the Knicks would be reaching out to him in 2021 free agency to potentially bring him in. So if we can bring him in for relatively cheap, that's Julius Randle, a player who's not going to be in our long-term future, and the 27th pick in a draft that most are considering to be very weak. If we can, if that's all it's going to cost to bring in Victor Oladipo, be able to have his medical records, be able to have our medical staff look at him, watch him, see as he progresses through his recovery, then I think that I don't see anything wrong with that. Not only that, when it comes to him, hitting free agency, we would have the most information when it comes to his health because he would have already been in our system, and we would have already been working with him, and it kind of takes away some of the risk when it comes to extending him or re-signing him for more years down the road. So let me know what you guys think. This is where my head was at when I read this story by Brian Windhurst. I apologize if a lot of you have already seen it. Like I said, this is my fourth or fifth time trying to record this video. But let me get off the camera before I mess it up and have to cut this back up. Once again, I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.